Hey guys, JP Guy starting a new game, Banjo-Kazooie. I'm super excited. This is one of my favorite games ever. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into the cutscene that starts it all off. Where we have Grunty's lair, a shape of her head. A little bit narcissistic, I think. And we're in this hallway that looks like cowboys are on the wall. It's always bothered me. I don't know why she has cowboys on her wall, but maybe the artist maybe tried to do something else, but whatever. Ding pot, by the bench. Who's the nicest looking wench? Why, it's Grunty any day. She really takes my breath away. Yes, you're right. I'm rather proud. My looks stand me out from the crowd. We got a lot of rhymes so far. And we got a little bit of a pause. But there is this girl. What do you mean, this cannot be? There's no one prettier than me. Why, it's Tootie, young and small. She's the prettiest girl of all. She's like 5 or 6 maybe. It's nicer beauty can't be had. Unfortunately, I think you'll find it's Tootie. She's cute and kind. As Grunty abuses her poor pot cauldron guy. Well, we'll see about that. And there's Tootie right there. Unfortunately, she's going to be the victim of Gruntilda. And she's running along, comes to this little molehill next to this house. And that's Bottles. He's the guy that's going to teach us all the moves. Hi there, Tootie. Tootie? What are you going to do today? When my big lazy brother wakes up, we're going on an adventure. And little lull moments in the cutscene here. Banjo's sleeping. Kazooie pops up. Wake up! I want to go on an adventure too. And Grunty comes out. If Tootie thinks she's fairer than me, I'll steal her looks, and ugly she'll be. Which I think is kind of crazy how you could steal someone else's looks. Is that your brother? I always love it how Bottles thought that Gruntilda was Banjo up in the air. I don't think so. Who is that? Come to me, my little pretty. You'll soon be ugly. What a pity. And then there's a bunch of stuff going on outside, and Kazooie's just stuck in the backpack. I don't know why she doesn't just get out and check it out. She's just kind of stuck in the backpack for some reason. And Banjo's just still sleeping through the whole thing. Banjo, wake up! No! Banjo's just lazy. He just doesn't want to wake up. Also, his hands are ginormous. They're bigger than his face. Which, I'm pretty sure in the actual gameplay, they aren't that big. Which leads me to believe that they made a separate model just for that cutscene. So far, we don't have any moves. Bottles is going to teach us some. I think we're actually going to go ahead and skip through the process of learning up the basics. That way, we can move a little bit faster. But we'll have the opportunity to talk to Bottles plenty of times later on as we move into the game itself. Alright. We're just learning how Tootie got kidnapped by Gruntilda and is in that giant lair over there. Which this little area is kind of funny because you have a molehill and a little blue house and then this giant lair. Those are the only 3 people that are there. We're going to go ahead and decline the training. So we will go ahead and get the basic moves. So we can do our regular jump, our double jump, our backflips, and regular standard attacks. If you weren't going to learn the moves, then you could go to these different molehills and he teaches you how to do the basics there. We're going to go ahead and grab this right here. This is an empty honeycomb piece. If you grab 6 of them, then your whole life bar gets expanded. Every time you collect 6, you get 1 more piece of health. And while Spiral Mountain doesn't have a whole lot to collect here, they do have those 6 pieces. So before we go to Grunty's lair, we want to grab these first. I know there's another one down here. I'm pretty sure I went the wrong way. Oh, here it is. Swimming is a little bit difficult. I heard if you hold down R, that might be for the original game though. I don't know if it's R or RT. You can do sharper turns. I'm gonna get up here. I won't quite let us. If we break these boulders, we'll get a couple more. They have green googly eyes. That's one thing I've always loved about rare games, is how they add the googly eyes. And if you've seen my playthrough of the Yooka-Laylee demo, you can see how that trend is continuing on with kind of the spiritual successor company, Playtonic Games. Just to get me a little bit hyped up for that, I wanted to go back to Banjo-Kazooie, which that game, Yooka-Laylee, is supposed to take a lot of inspiration from this game. Let's see, so we got 2 more, I believe. There's one up in the tree, and then one by the waterfall. Let's go ahead and grab those real quick, and we'll be on our way up to Spiral Mountain. So, how are you guys doing? I just started school today. It probably will be a few days after when you guys finally see this. But I'm hoping that for you guys who are going back to school, that it is a pleasant experience. We just collected the last honeycomb piece we needed to get 1 extra bit of health, which will help us out a lot. And we also snatched an extra life as well. That should help us. Hopefully I won't need too many extra lives. And we want to go ahead and cross this bridge over here and head up to Grunty's lair. The series called Spiral Mountain because of this little platform in the middle. Spirals all around. I want to kind of skip a little bit, which I failed miserably. Let's try again. There we go. And you got a nice little spirally mountain. I wonder if it's funny and dumb to think of, but trying to imagine if it was naturally created or if like someone shaved down the pathway so that it spirals around. But we're gonna go ahead and to Grunty's lair. If you opt to learn the moves, Bottles will not fix this bridge until you talk to him and learn all of them. Traditionally, I've always had him teach me the moves, but this time I decided to go through a little bit faster. So we can see here how Grunty said that she was going to steal Tootie's good looks. She's got this crazy contraption to accomplish that. She has her assistant that'll press the buttons. And it's something that I haven't thought of before until now. But you have this cutscene at the very beginning of the game where both Grunty and Tootie are sitting in this machine waiting, and it isn't until we get a game over that we see the cutscene where Grunty finally transforms. So that essentially means that like they're both in those machines for a super long time. It's kind of funny. Never thought of it before. But we just grabbed ourselves a Jiggy, which is the main collectible of the game. So we're going to go ahead and eat that. There we go. I always like that touch. The cutscene's a little bit long every time you grab a Jiggy. But at the same time, it's kind of cool how Kazooie just swallows the Jiggy. A little weird to think about too much, but I think it's good. Let's go ahead. We are at this jigsaw puzzle, which is where we put our jiggies to unlock levels. And Bottles is going to go through a really long, however-winded text to tell us how to put the piece in. And we opened up the first level, Mumbo's Mountain. Since we're just starting, and it would be a pretty boring episode if I just started with just the Spiral Mountain area. I thought that I would show off some of this level as well. Depending on how quickly I can get through this level, I might just do this all in this episode. I might also decide to split it up into a second part as well. And already in the first few seconds of me walking through this level, we've already grabbed a bunch of different collectibles. This level's pretty compact. Everything's pretty close to each other. I've already grabbed 2 of these colorful guys. They're called Jinjos. You collect 5 and you get another Jiggy. I mean, I guess a lot of you who are watching this might already have played this game, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it seems a little repetitive, but just in case for those who haven't played this game, that's kind of how it works. And these notes are also a big collectible throughout the game. On top of getting jiggies, you need these notes to be able to open up certain doors that allow you to get through the game. And I'll show that off a little bit more later. It'll all make sense. This is kind of a lot to take in at first for those of you who have never played this before, but it'll all become pretty straightforward as we get going. So we've already gotten about 29 notes, and here is our first Jiggy for this stage. And this little Jiggy guy is telling us that there's 10 of them in the world. So we're gonna go ahead and eat this one. Nom. And then you can use that same platform that we entered to exit. Let's go ahead and talk to Bottles here. I think we're gonna learn the Talentron. Okay, great. So this will allow us to walk a lot faster, and also allow us to climb up steep ledges, which, let's see, I think it's that. Okay, the controls are a little bit different. You hit the left trigger and then the right trigger on the Xbox 360 controller, which is really different from the N64 controller, but they don't have C buttons on the Xbox controller, and they tried avoiding putting moves on the C stick as much as possible. Let's go ahead and grab some of these eggs. They're kind of used as ammunition to attack enemies and accomplish certain tasks. Doing really good. We already have half of the notes, and we already have enough notes to open up the first note door, as Bottles is trying to tell us right now. We've pretty much already seen most of the level as it is. Mumbo's Mountain is really small, it's really simple, pretty quick to get through, but it's just got a nice little charm. The music's great. I can't hear it that well because I'm trying to keep the audio as low as possible for you guys, so I don't have any weird echo. But we're about to get ourselves another Jiggy. Not without getting hurt, but we got it. There's these weird blocks in the ground, and when you throw oranges on them and break them all, then a Jiggy appears. But this is Konga. We're gonna steal one of his oranges off the tree, and we're gonna give it to this little guy. And there's a lot of text going over. It always bothers me that a lot of the characters in both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie refer to Banjo as a fat bear. And, you know, Banjo looks pretty trim. In fact, in like nuts and bolts, then he becomes fat. But that's another game for another time. we're going to go ahead and learn how to use the eggs that I was collecting earlier. Essentially, Bottles is going to tell us how to use eggs two different ways. We can shoot it out of our mouth in front of us, and we can also shoot it out of our butt as well. We just kind of poop it out. It's kind of awkward. I almost never use it unless I absolutely have to. But the forward shot is kind of the more typical use. And Bottles is nice and gave us a little more health. There is another thing over here, which we can't do yet because we don't have the ground pound move yet. We gotta still get that, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. I'll probably just cut over to that point once we learn the move. So we want to shoot Congo with a couple of eggs here, and watch out for his orange tosses. It's kind of like a waste of oranges to me. He only takes 3 shots, and we're good. You can kind of see the funny texture on the oranges right there. They kind of look more like cantaloupes. We'll go ahead and grab them. They look more like the size of cantaloupes as well. Those are pretty huge oranges. Try to do the Talon Trot, but I pressed the wrong button, as usual. The X button on the Xbox 360 controller is very close to where the C left button was on the N64 controller, so that was kind of my natural muscle memory, what do you call it? Muscle memory process. I can't word it, but you guys know what I mean. And there's just Jiggies just sitting everywhere. This is a pretty easy level. The difficulty ramps up pretty quickly from this point, but not by much. This is by far one of the easiest levels I've ever done in a game. Alright, what we're going to do next, get yet another Jiggy. I don't know the move yet, so of course I can't do it. But we need to go over here first. Okay, here we go. Bottles is going to go ahead and teach us how to do the ground pound, which they call the Beak Buster. I never remember that name. I just kind of know it as the ground pound or the butt stomp. Alright. I got hurt again? Oh yeah, because Conga throw stuff. And we learned all 3 moves in Mumbo's Mountain. So what we want to do is break all of these little huts, and eventually a Jiggy will come out. I was really struggling getting that note. Now, the order of stuff that comes out of each hut isn't based on their location, but based on when you open it. And the Jiggy's gonna come out in the very last one. And on top of that, we got all 5 Jinjos, which gives us another Jiggy. So we're gonna be seeing this little dance a lot. Alright, go ahead and ground pound there. Get another extra life. That's always nice. And then ground pound there for our Jiggy. Yep, go ahead and put that at 7 Jiggies. And then we have this totem pole. They want us to feed them with nice blue stones, which is referring to our eggs. And before we get rid of this last one, we want to flip up and get this honeycomb real quick. That way, because if we got rid of it before, we wouldn't be able to grab it. We'd have to leave the world and come back again to get it. And then we'll go ahead and grab this Mumbo token. I haven't described it yet. Right here we have Mumbo's skull. Mumbo's a shaman character who turns you into different animals. And once we get 5, once again, I was trying to do the Talon Trot, did the wrong move. But like I was saying, once we get 5, he will give us a transformation, which will allow us to explore this area. Now despite the fact that we have a move that allows us to Talon Trot, for some reason we cannot go past that point with what we currently are. So I need to go ahead and find that last Mumbo token. I think it's going to be over this way. Hey guys, I'm back. I realized that I already grabbed the Mumbo token that was over here, but I wanted to pound this switch real quick, which, in addition to having 10 Jiggies in each level, there is a switch that will make a Jiggy spawn in Grunty's lair. So we can go ahead and grab that once we're through with the level. I need to remember where the last Mumbo token is. I might have missed it. I think it's over here. It might actually be in Mumbo's hut too. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, here it is. Okay. So now we have 5 Mumbo tokens. We can go ahead and give this to Mumbo. I'll go ahead and just cut to that point if I can get through this crazy camp ramble. Okay guys, we're back at Mumbo's school. We're going to go ahead and grab these notes. We are really close to collecting all the notes that are in this level. I'm not going to worry about getting all those eggs. Mumbo's going to go ahead and explain what he does. And Mumbo and Kazooie kind of have a little bit of back and forth. Not so much in this game, but a lot in Banjo-Kazooie for sure. So we have enough tokens. Go ahead and step on this pad, and then Mumbo's going to transform us into something special. He turns us into a termite. What does he call it? Yeah, it is a termite. I think it's funny that he calls it a bit small, but, you know, if I saw a termite this large, I would be kind of freaking out. I guess technically compared to these termites over here, I'm kind of small. That's... I don't even know what I was saying. I got sidetracked there. That's gonna happen a lot, but it's just the way I roll sometimes. But we're a termite wearing a backpack, because why would we not have our stuff when we transform? That's one thing I always liked about the transformations in Banjo-Kazooie is, despite being transformed, Banjo's still wearing a backpack and shorts, and especially when it's like a weird transformation. We kind of have like this weird, like, pants belt around our waist instead of going over our legs because we're a termite. So that is the last Jiggy. And the intuition would be to go back to Mumbo and transform, but we don't want to do that because we want to be able to collect the Jiggy that I made spawn in back in the lair, and we need the termite ability to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and leave the world. We have all the notes we need. We got all 100 notes. We got all 10 Jiggies, and we found the switch, which will make that Jiggy appear, and we got it. With that, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.